What is good, everybody? Welcome back to the Blitz Podcast. I'm your host, Kobe Orr, and today we have another episode of FBS Friday. And of course, I'm never doing it by myself. I got my guy Blue with me from the Blue Bloods Podcast and FCS Sports Central, and of course, we got my guy Jason Watkins. All right, Jason.
Bro. I knew this was coming. I'm just tapping to take my medicine this week.
I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it to you, bro. All right. No, we got a lot to get into.
Yeah.
Let's start light though. All right. I really want to address.
You gotta do it. No, bring it up. It's all right.
No. It ain't even you, Jason. It ain't even you. I remember, and I'm not gonna say no names. He may or may not be on this show tonight, but a couple weeks ago, we were talking about the Ohio State-Oregon game. We ain't had a show that week. Somebody said, after I said we got them at home, somebody said, y'all are going to lose. I don't care. It don't matter. Somebody said, I ain't going to say no names. All right? But, hey, Blue, here we are.
Hey, Oregon's rolling right now, man. I'll be honest. Like I kind of knew what to expect from Dylan Gabriel. Like, I mean, bro, that dude's like a 19th year senior at this point. But man, the run game is really what I think kind of shocked everyone for Oregon, right? I didn't expect Oregon to be able to run the football like this. They just have so many weapons out here, and then also too, man. I think with y'all's defense, man, Dan Lanning is just that guy. I mean, we know Dan Lane is going to put a good defense on the field, man. So Oregon's kind of has it all right now. As long as Gabriel continues to play at a high level, man, like Oregon's going to be tough to beat.
Yeah. I will say though, before
we could sure use Dylan Gabriel back in Norman right now.
Yeah.
I will say though, I am nervous that we'll probably run into Ohio State again in the conference championship, and what that'll look like. But we'll talk about that later on in the show. First topic. All right. This has been talked about for like the past couple of weeks. Ashton, Jeanty, Travis Hunter, the Heisman talk. Travis went public. He feels like he is more deserving of it, especially comparing 95 catches to however yards Jeanty currently has. I'll say this. I understand why people say, Jeanty should win it. I understand why people say Jeanty should be in the lead. I think he should be in the lead, right? Because almost having 1,000 yards in 4 games is insane, right? What he's doing is insane. I get it. I still want to advocate for Travis for the simple fact that I feel like when it comes to running backs having this kinds of year, we see it all the time. If we don't see it every year, it's every other year.
Yeah, I don't know.
Running backs breaking records and having having record-breaking seasons coming from nowhere. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think it's exactly like this.
Blue.
Oh, I was gonna say, but he's having the best season of all time. Like he's on pace to shatter Barry Sanders records, which a lot of people thought would never be touched. Like his season right now might be better than some Heisman winning running backs' entire seasons.
Okay, better than Derrick Henry's?
Yes.
Damn.
And by the way, McCaffrey was better than Derrick Henry that year, bro. Come on.
I just want to put it in perspective. Hang on, because I can pull up Derrick Henry's CFP stats from that Heisman winning year. And they're really good, right? So when he won the Heisman, he had 2,200 yards, 5.6 yards per attempt, 28 touchdowns. In 6 games, Jeanty's already at 1,200 yards, 17 touchdowns, and is averaging 10 yards per carry. And did it against Oregon.
He did. He
had a great game against Oregon, but the problem is the Mountain West. You know what I mean? They're just not playing enough really good teams. I think they'll find a way to screw it up. If Travis can stay healthy, in which is a question at this point because he plays so much, right? But I think you haven't seen anybody do this either.
No.
You know what I mean? I mean, Travis is, he's catching a touchdown and getting a pick in every game that he plays in. I mean, he's definitely the best player on the field every time he steps on the field. And it's insane. It's insane what CU's doing. I was not expecting this.
And that's the thing. I'm not mad at Jeanty being in the league. I get it. But what would Travis have to do to even surpass that? Is there anything he can do?
Oh,
I don't.
If he has
so.
1,000 yards receiving and 6-7 interceptions, he wins.
Yeah. Yeah, it had to be something like that. I mean, because the problem with Travis is missing a game already and being limited in another one. He already was going to be behind on stats. Because I understand it shouldn't just be a purely statistical award, but I do think stats matter at a point, right? You have to hit certain benchmarks. And the problem is, I don't know if Travis is going to be able to hit them. That's the question. And also, go ahead.
I was just going to say, though, I wouldn't keep Cam Ward out of this thing just yet.
That's where I was going to. I think Cam Ward might have an argument for number one right now as well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Next topic then, right? Since we're talking about quarterbacks, Grayson McCall, Blue. That I know you were a big fan of him. You been mentioning it like last year. Grayson McCall transferred from Coastal Carolina to NC State. Had a lot of concussions, and he just announced that he's medically retiring from football. And it kind of sucks to see that, right? Because like he had such a great career, and I didn't think he was going to be like a world beater in the NFL, but I wanted to see him get there. I wanted to see what he would look like in the league. I wanted to see him for a full season at North Carolina State, but it's unfortunate that it has to end like this. What was your reaction to Grayson McCall announcing his retirement?
Just hate it for him, right? I mean, especially because like this was finally his opportunity to kind of step into the spotlight. Because I really don't think people realize like what he was doing at Coastal Carolina, because they just kind of exploded onto the scene, and it was a lot due to him being so good so quickly, and the fact that he won. I don't think people realize he won 3 consecutive Sun Belt Conference Player of the Year awards. Only person in history to do that, and holds the school record for total touchdowns, touchdown passes, and passing yards. He threw for over 10,000 yards at Coastal Carolina and was leading them to New Year's 6 consideration, top 25 consideration, when that program should never have been competing at that level. So I just hate it for the kid, man. But I will say I am glad that he's taken his future health into account, man, because we've seen way too many guys go back out there and get severely hurt, and it could have got to a point where we ended up seeing him getting carted off the field, and really, really concerned for his health, man. So I'm hoping he's okay. But listen, man, this guy is, I believe he's a grad guy, has a grad degree from NC State, or is about to, so he'll be okay. But man, I just hate to see players that were so great not be able to finish out their careers.
I mean, we see Tua doing it now, right? Like
yeah.
with those concussions, and it kind of made me think, like about the parallels between that, because we've all played the sport before. Like we love the feeling we get from playing football, right? You love the feeling that comes with it. So it's not easy to give it up. It wasn't. I had to imagine this wasn't an easy decision for him. And I kind of think about what was that guy's name of West Virginia who had the same concussion problems? Trinket.
Oh yeah, he's the.
The next time we saw him, offensive coordinator.
Trinket or something like that. Yeah,
it's tricky because his dad's like a famous offensive line coach.
Right. So
he was a stud, bro. He was a stud.
I don't know, man. I hate to see it for him, but like you said, I'm glad he chose himself, because a lot of people would choose the glory. Like they would choose the glory of playing football over, their health. And this game doesn't last forever, man. So,
that sucks. It sucks for him though to have, everybody coming in. I think I had NC State as one of those dark horse teams to really play very well in the ACC, and obviously they haven't done that. But it's because they've gotten him killed. You know what I mean? They've just been getting him beat to death, and I don't know what happened there, but yeah, because you started watching him. I didn't watch him at first. I remember when they played BYU that year, and BYU was undefeated with Zach Wilson. I mean, they were really good, right? And then, but they stuck it to him. They stuck it to him in that game. And then I remember that one. And then I didn't really think about him again until maybe a couple of years later. And he was still lighting it up, man. I mean, that guy was something else. So to kind of get your shot, and seems like he was one of those guys that was just kind of an under the radar kid, anyway. So you have to fight your way to that point, and then you get to Division I and, in a good situation, and it just turns out to not be a good situation. That sucks. Football.
Yeah, it's the unfortunate side of it. All right. Last week. Yes, I know these rankings are no longer accurate, but it was at the time last week, so that's why they're up here. Number 6, Miami. All right. Played Louisville. Was a high-scoring affair, 52-45. Miami, Cam Ward is definitely getting, Cam Ward looks great, right? But I do worry that Miami is starting to, it's getting a little too close. It's been getting a little too close for a little while now. You know what I'm saying? I don't really like the direction it's headed. What was y'all reaction to that game?
I mean, I'm with you where I just think I'd give Miami credit for this. They keep finding ways to win, man, because we see a lot of these top teams, Texas, Georgia, Bama, LSU, Ole Miss, man, they keep finding ways to slip up. And so the only other team that's really found ways to win constantly is Oregon. Right now, Penn State hasn't played anyone, so I'm not really going to include them in this conversation yet. They'll slip up eventually.
USC? Come on now.
Yeah, USC is USC. Lincoln Riley's going to be gone after this year. But I think, guys, I don't know how y'all feel. Cam Ward is going to take this team as far as he wants to. As soon as he has a bad game, the roller coaster ends for this team. That's really what it comes down to, is they're going to go as far as Cam Ward takes them. And right now, Cam Ward is playing some of the best football in the country. And also, too, they have a solid run game, man. Martinez and Fletcher can tote the rock. It's just their defense has just been way too inconsistent for me. And that's something I think is going to catch up to them.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, and we know that, not for nothing, but Mario Cristobal has found ways to lose in the past. So for them to be finding ways to win instead is kind of wild. It's kind of feel like you're in Bizarro world right now, but but I do think that I really like Cam Moore, dude. That guy is unreal good. I think that I think if I was gonna choose a Heisman winner right now, it's got to be him, because I can't see Travis holding up to to that many plays, and I don't know that Jeanty can keep going like that throughout the year. I just don't know. I mean, again, he is playing in the Mountain West, so maybe, but I don't know, man. It just feels like if Miami is back in a even just an ACC championship situation, which it looks like they should be, yeah, he's probably going to win it, because he's been great. He's had some Heisman moments, It's always about the moment these days, and it's a quarterback freaking trophy damn day. So
and Travis is going to lose votes to Shador.
I think so. And Shador has been fantastic, by the way.
For sure.
We shouldn't say anything about just Travis, because Shador has been fantastic.
I think the fact that, ironically, Colorado has been kind of quiet, it's been working out for them. It's probably kind of why they're sitting at 5-2. It's been working out. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully they can stay that way, Indiana.
How does that happen? Wait a minute. Don't run away from that for a second. How the hell did they get quiet all of a sudden?
I haven't seen them in the headlines as much. I'm gonna be honest.
I read something in the Athletic saying that it was like quiet CU is why,
I do believe that. Just not as much distractions. You're really just focusing on ball. You're one win away from being bowl eligible. They need to keep this up. You know what I'm saying? The flash is cool, but you don't need it as much as you've been doing it.
I agree. No, I think that they needed to shut up last year. When they opened their mouth before the Oregon game and got just boat raced, it didn't get better after that. You know what I mean? They should have beaten SC. But I mean, that's weird to me, though. SCs just should be so much better, it feels like. I don't know. Can't help it. I hate Lincoln Riley.
You don't miss Lincoln Riley as much as you miss Dylan Gabriel?
No. I'm glad that, Lincoln's kind of showing who he is. In the end, look, I really feel like Brent's he's stumbling right now, but it was a terrible hire for the LC position. Making we've been talking about it a ton. I'm almost sick of it, but they made a terrible move getting Latrell. And the stuff that you're hearing about that was going on, I'm not crazy and going to sit here and tell you they're going to go to Ole Miss and win tomorrow. I think they're going to keep it close. I think they cover anyway. And I think that if you just got to see some kind of improvement, but their defense has been lights out. At some point, even the best defenses are going to crumble a little bit when you have 9 straight 3-and-outs and start turning the football over, things like that. Stuff like that, just, it sucks. It's the best defense they've had in 20 years, and it's just being ruined.
Okay. I think I remember the third topic that I wanted to bring up too, and I'm gonna just bring this in quickly. I don't know if I'm maybe it's if it's because I'm almost 30, like I'm feeling like an old head, but when I see the belt to ass celebrations, when I see the emptying the clip celebrations with the guns, I don't like it. I'm usually all for the players celebrating and everything, but I don't like it now. I feel like the same way, they've kind of put regulations on like the horns down thing and like how you're not allowed to do that. Outlaw that shit. Outlaw that. Why? Like the South Carolina kid, Dylan Stewart, why are you emptying the clip on a player on the ground? Why are you doing that?
It's dumb. I saw the little kid doing that in the line. Running through
that was crazy. I was about to say, I don't care about the belt celebration like in college, like that's fine, bro, like because people have been saying that all the time, like the college kids, but bro, to let a little kid walk around spanking you as an adult in the handshake line, bro, the amount of hands to feet that kid would have had to feel for my team, like they would have been running gassers 6-year-olds if they wanted to put hands and feet on that kid. No chance.
Facts.
That was terrible parenting on the part of
that was crazy. Like you got to immediately fight. That's just a respect thing.
Yeah. Well, you saw that big old kid. He was the littlest guy too from the one team.
Yeah, and sometimes you just got to punk
was
someone.
Huge, and he went after him and he pushed him pretty hard. He was like, "Yeah, dude."
That's when you just got to toss the kid. Just that's one of those, like, you guys know, like, because like, listen, we grew up at a different time. You guys remember like those certain events in your childhood that like shaped you as a man. That's got to be one of those moments.
Yeah,
where you just get like stomped out and it's like, okay, I probably shouldn't do that anymore.
Yeah,
right.
Pop off your mom one too many times and you catch that freaking whatever just flew across the room and whacked you in the head. Yeah, I remember those days.
All right, Indiana, mollywhopping Nebraska 7. They've been a pleasant surprise this year. I'm not even gonna lie to you, a pleasant surprise. What was your reaction to this game though?
I just think Nebraska was overrated. I'm gonna be completely honest with you.
Really?
I just don't think they were. Because everyone was touting them as like a college football playoff contender. It's like, bro, that they're not there yet. It's too early to put those expectations on Raiola as well. Like, I don't think he played well. I think he had like 3 picks, but I will be curious about the Indiana quarterback spot with I think Rourke went down, if I'm not mistaken. And so now, without their starting quarterback, what do they look like moving forward? But also, too, man, their head coach can coach his ass off too. I mean, you saw what he built at James Madison. Like, he's a national championship level coach.
Right.
So,
and 2 coordinators that are really good too. Their offense is legit. Yeah, man. Who the hell wins at Indiana?
Tom Allen every like 15 years, it felt like.
Yeah, you had 8 or 9 wins or whatever. That's winning at Indiana. They're a lot. Look, I don't know. I thought a little more of Nebraska because of their defense, but they have. I mean, and I expected this game to be a pretty good game, but I wasn't on that CFP train because of the fact of Raiola being a freshman. You can't expect that out of a freshman quarterback. And I don't know, early on, you're playing some of these teams, and I think that they obviously catch and see you at home. It's a rivalry game. You never know what's going to happen in a rivalry game anyway. They hate each other like to the max. But I think that you've kind of seen them fall back to earth a little bit over the last few weeks anyway. And this one certainly does it. I think that Matt Rule's going to have a really good – I think he's going to get them turned around. I don't think it's this year. And I think this one could send them the other way at this point. So, this is one of those games that you're used to. It's been so long since they've won. Do they really believe in it? And I think that's kind of where USC's at too. We were talking about them a little bit, and I'm busting chops. But listen, they're losing games to, Maryland and Minnesota. And if they lose tonight to Rutgers, yikes.
Yeah.
It's but it's because the culture that they've had there for a while now, it's kind of the same thing at both places. USC struggled since Pete left. And then same thing with ever since Tom Osborne at Nebraska. I mean, they've had their moments here and there, but yeah, it's tough there. I think that they got a great program and they've got a great following. They're a blue blood without a doubt, but I just don't think that Nebraska's what you thought they might be this year. I think they're at least a year away.
I think it doesn't make Colorado look good either after that loss, but
that's true. But Colorado's played a lot better since then.
This is nasty work right here. This is nasty work. We had to bring this one up.
That's because Jake, you said we was gonna talk about it. Jay, I just wanted to hear your take on it. That's all I'm saying. I just wanted to hear your take on it.
Yeah, 21 down on a scoop and score and an interception for a touchdown in 5 minutes. You got to be better. Here's what I'll tell you. Here's what my take is. They should have fired the son of a bitch a week before, because when you come up with a game plan that has your worst tight end one-on-one with All-American edge rushers.
What?
Yeah.
I didn't even catch
South Carolina's D-line is legit, by the way.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I wouldn't put the best tight end in America up against those guys one-on-one. Either one of them. That's how it's incompetency to the max. They've had a lot of injuries along the line, had a lot of injuries. You've got your 5 best wide receivers out, young quarterbacks. There's a lot of shit that's been going on, but you cannot, there's no way to dismiss that. There's no way that you can take up for that and give me a fucking reason why you're not out on your ass at halftime for that shit. And he should have been fired the week before, but it's neither here nor there. Thank God they did it. Now they go and get somebody legit, like maybe your boy there in Oregon. That would be cool. So that's I think
we'll send you Hugh Freeze for free.
Yeah, I don't want him. He actually lost to Oklahoma. So yeah. I don't know, man. It's so bad. It's so the things that we're finding out too, it's just, and again, like I said, the defense, they're one of the top teams in the country in turning people over. They've, they're in the 30s and 40s in some of the different, metrics and stuff like that. But a lot of that has to do with the fact they've just been on the field so much. Right. It was weird last week. They still outgained South Carolina in the game, but that you can't have. They actually fumbled the ball 6 damn times. Got sacked 9 times.
Good Lord.
I mean, look, I don't love the offensive line right now. They didn't do great in the portal, and they've had some injury stuff. But it's scheme. If you can't scheme well enough to not get sacked 9 times, it's just bad. Yeah. Anyway,
they only had 250 total yards and scored 35 points.
Yeah, dude. I mean, the only thing that Oklahoma didn't do was turn them over, which is surprising to me, because generally that's what in South Carolina. Look, man, I'm not trying to hate on South Carolina, but they're not good. Come on, they're not good. No. They caught fire, and they got a really, really good defensive front, but they got bailed out of that shit. For sure. And
that freshman's legit. is it Stewart off the edge? That kid's a freak.
Unbelievable, bro. And then the other dude from Georgia Tech is a stud too, man.
Yeah.
We're talking All-American type edge rusher guys. They're really good, but they're not great on the back end. And I mean, they've found a way to screw it up every other week, except for this one, But it's just, to me, it told you how incompetent Seth Luttrell was and what was going on. And then we've heard a lot of stuff that a lot of infighting and stuff within the offensive staff. And, I don't know, man. He was kind of throwing his weight around, whatever that was, so at least with Jojon this week calling the plays, and he's never really called plays before, but he knew Levy's offense, and Levy said it on his way out. He's ready to call it right now. So, I mean, you would hope, and with now they've got Kevin Johns is coming in as the quarterback coach. So, they actually have a quarterback coach. These are things that are necessary, right, on the offensive side of the ball. And you take it for granted as an Oklahoma guy that they're going to play good offense. It's been that bad. Again, bizarre world this year. Bizarre world. Just crazy. Yeah. Anyway, I'm talking about it, Kobe. Damn.
All right, let's move on. Tennessee, Alabama. All right, maybe this makes you feel a little better. Alabama loses the second game of the season. All right. Now, Tennessee is an intimidating place to play. I get it. I didn't think they were going to pull that game out anyway. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I think they're still a very good team, but I think they're just not there yet. I think DeBoer, that's how you pronounce his last name. I think he brought over that Pac-12 style defense, and it's kind of starting to show a little bit. I don't
know if he brought over the defense because he's an offensive guy. I just think they made the wrong hire at D coordinator.
Yeah, I think they made it. I mean, they're used to running man-to-man defense there, and he's got them running these crazy matchup zones and gap. That's got to have certain gap stuff. They're young. I think that's the problem at Alabama right now. I like Womack. I think you need to go down and talk to Saban and just get back to doing what they do.
Well, also too, they're starting 3 freshmen in the secondary in the SEC. Like, God, they're good. Like, don't get me wrong, the 3 freshmen they're starting are legit. But guys, y'all know this, man. There's some growing pains as a freshman in the SEC, especially a defensive back.
Sure,
man. Good.
There's a lot of really good wide receivers in the SEC.
And also too, this has been a problem with Bama for 2 or 3 years now. Even when Saban was still there, they have struggled to run the football. They have not had like an elite running back in a few years now. That could really just change the game. I mean, none of their running backs can break the game open. And then also too, I think it's wearing on Milroe, where he feels like he has to go do everything, and now he's playing bad. And if Milroe plays bad, this team isn't talented enough to get out of here with a win. And I think with Milroe's turnovers, and I just think he's losing confidence slowly in his game, and that's the worst thing for Bama. But I will say, that kid Ryan,
on one player, right? Ryan Williams is the only guy he throws to.
God, he's so good too.
He is really,
because he's from my hometown, like where I live now. He's supposed to still be in high school, man. He reclassified. Kid should be playing at Saraland right now, and he might be the best wide receiver in the country right now.
Yeah, I mean, well, and you think about, you guys got a really good one there at Auburn too, and Cam Coleman, and then you got Jeremiah Smith at Ohio State. There's some really good freshman receivers, but I think he is the best one.
He's in open space. He's just unguardable.
Oh, dude, but that freaking play that he made against Georgia.
Oh yeah, dude, the physics don't even make sense.
I didn't get it. I was like,
and also that catch at Vandy, it got overshadowed because they lost. Yeah. That last touchdown catch, man, there's no way he should be able to keep his balance up the sideline going backwards like that.
Yeah, but the thing is I think that's also, this is their first year for that coordinator to be calling plays at Bama, and I think that he is a little out of his depth at times. Why you're not running the football? You've got a lot of times where you've got Milroe he's scrambling, but once you're scrambling, it's not the same thing as designed run for a guy like him, right? I think you have to be more design run and I think they got good running backs. They're just not using them. Jam's good. I like him. I think they've got some good players, man. I just don't understand kind of what I know they're a pass-happy team, but Jalen Milroe was never going to be an 85% passer or 75% passer if you're going to throw it as much as Michael Penix threw it last year.
Yeah.
He was passing for 70 last year. They ran the shit out of the ball. You know what I mean? So, I like Jalen. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying anything bad about Jalen Milroe. I think he's absolutely special. I think he's going to be very good. I just don't love him for this offense because I don't think he's a pure passer, and they love to throw the football.
Right. They were actually saying that even during that season last year, I think they were still kind of like not really sold on Milroe like that. There was still criticism, but hey, game of the week though.
At the end of the year, he looked good at the end of the year throwing the ball, but he made some throws like the one against. I didn't even bring it up. Actually, I will. The Auburn throw on 4th down, that was insane. But they didn't make him do that all the time, right? I mean, they didn't make him do that all the time. They were going to run the football, and that's Nick Saban's team. They're going to run the football. It got him where they needed to go, but I just think, I never saw him as, he's going to go in and like challenge Michael Penix's numbers from the year before. I just didn't see it. Not only that, they don't have that many good receivers as what Penix had either.
No, his receiving core is stupid.
All right, now Georgia took down Texas. I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't expect this. Jason,
really?
I didn't. I had Texas. I'm gonna be honest with you. I had Texas.
There was just no chance.
Burn orange Kool-Aid, Cole.
No, because I'm with you on this, Kobe, because I thought Texas was good, but bro, the reason I picked Georgia is there's no chance Kirby Smart was going to lose another game this early in the season. I don't care. They could have played the Chiefs last weekend, and I probably would have picked Georgia. Just on principle.
Yeah,
that's what I was gonna say. Jason, I owe you an apology. Last show you set up here, you was like, bro, Texas is not what you think they are. And I was like, nah, man, he just saying that, the whole rivalry.
You got a bona fide quarterback controversy. Or wait, no, you don't. Yes, you do. It's a thing. It's gonna be a thing.
It shouldn't be. It's so crazy that it's a thing.
Except for you see Quinn, and you've seen Quinn do this this is his 3rd year there. He's not a consistent guy. He's not above getting rattled. It happens. I'm telling you, this is not going to be the last time this happens. In fact, they're going to lose to A&M. Mike Elko was the right hire there. I still think that A&M is A&M, but Mike Elko was the right hire there. And they're loading up, and I think Colin Klein's doing a great job with that offense too. But they're going to lose that one. They could lose tomorrow. If Texas, I think they're a lot better up front than I gave them credit for. They're definitely better than I gave them credit for. They're still not as good as they were a year ago up front. And a guy like Diego Pavia, he's going to give them hell tomorrow. He's going to give them hell tomorrow because he is a threat, and he's just a player, though. I mean, the guy's just a winner. But because he can run the way he can, he's going to put them into situations where they're going to be in a dogfight. I don't know that they lose the game. I think that they definitely should be able to cover, 18.5 or some shit like that. So, but I wasn't surprised in the Georgia thing either. They came in an 8. I'm not sure what I think about Georgia overall. I knew they were winning this one though.
I'm just scared for Georgia, because the worst thing for the rest of the SEC that could happen was Georgia lose a game, just because they were kind of getting lulled to sleep, and you kind of saw them getting that quiet confidence. Now Kirby's got their full attention, and I mean, you guys have seen the SEC over the past few years. When Georgia's locked in, that's a terrifying team to go up against, and it might have been the worst time for a wake up call for that team.
And I mean, Carson Beck didn't even play very good.
Yeah, he played terrible. 3 picks.
Mm-hmm.
But Travis Etienne is coming along now. I mean,
and
the fact that
killing it.
The fact that Georgia's starting to kind of find their rhythm on the ground, God, that offense is gonna, because we know what they are going to be defensively, right? They're going to be super aggressive, and they got athletes everywhere. And also, too, they're kind of banged up in a few positions too, so they haven't even got fully healthy. And so that's the real scary part, is that they could be better down the stretch. But I think this was more about Georgia than it was Texas. I still expect Texas to be good. They're talented, but I do think it was just a bad matchup when you look at what Georgia does well compared to what Texas does well.
Yeah, I think this is where you find out if Sark is really becoming the coach that everybody's already kind of anointed him as. Because again, last year will be the only year that he's ever won 10 games in 10 seasons. So, and you've seen at other times where, you know, they lose that game, they'll lose another one or two. And I think that for sure they have to go to A&M. That's a tough one. They're going to go up against a really nasty defense, and A&M's got – there's lots of reasons that A&M's pissed off. You know, you got the baseball coach, you got them being in the SEC, all that stuff. There's a lot to that, but I also think Arkansas, they always find a way somehow to beat Texas when they play them. I think they've beaten them the last 3 times they played them. And then, look, not for nothing, Vandy still looks I like Vandy a lot, man. To bring in Tim Beck the way and them do what they've done, I mean, we're used to seeing them win 2 games.
Mm-hmm.
You know, weird the way who was it? Georgia State beat them, right? Yep. Which that was weird. But and then they lost to Mizzou. But also you got to think about Mizzou is it looks like Cook may go out because I don't know how he made it back he came out of the freaking.
Or they injected him with something and he just blacked out there for 2 quarters.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. So because they said he's going to try to go tomorrow, so that's a big game too. But I still think. Overall, I still feel like Texas is this is where you find out really how good they are and how well they handle this adversity because they're going to have it now. You saw what you need to do against them. Oklahoma, not for nothing, Oklahoma in the Red River game, and I was there. They 13 yards in the first quarter that they had on OU. 13. They got an interception off them. We just couldn't put anything in the end zone. So you could have had a completely different game. They never ran away with it until the very end of it, you know, even with turnovers and stuff. So I didn't think that Texas was quite as good as everybody thinks they are. I think they're better than I gave them credit for at the start of the year, though. I will say that. But I do think probably lose 2 more anyway.
All right. It's time for pick-ems. All right. The notable games coming up this week. We're going to pick them. See what y'all got. First one, Alabama versus Missouri. What do y'all got?
Bama.
Yeah, Bama.
All right. Too easy. Oregon versus Illinois.
Oregon.
Yeah, well, Oregon wins. Do they cover 21.5 in a game like that? Well, Illinois is going to try to ugly that.
I honestly expect it to be ugly. I'm going to be honest with you.
Yeah. So I don't know that they cover. I think that they win, though. I mean, I don't love Illinois.
Yeah, because 22.5 is a lot, man. So that's what 3+ touchdowns. But I do think it does help that it is in Eugene, man. That's a tough place to play. I think Illinois is going to be a little shocked at that environment.
I'm at the point in the season now where I just want to win. I don't care how it comes. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't care if it's pretty. I just want to win.
They look good, man. They look good.
Yeah. LSU, Texas A&M, the big one. I'm gonna go A&M though. I'm gonna go A&M.
This is such a good game, man. I'm kind of torn on this game because I can make an argument in my head for either way, but because it's in College Station and A&M's been running the football so well, I'm gonna go A&M.
Yeah, you gotta expect that Brian Kelly's gonna screw it up somewhere. And they've had really good games with A&M. I think this is probably that one. It really hasn't been really close for Texas A&M aside from that Notre Dame game. And I think Notre Dame's a lot better than people think they are. They obviously shouldn't have lost that game to Northern Illinois. But Notre Dame's legit on defense. They finally found it on offense, you know, with I don't know that I trust. They were throwing a lot of interceptions last week. If it's anybody but Ole Miss, they probably lose that game, right? Old Lane whiffing.
All right. I forgot to put this one in, but Navy, Notre Dame.
Notre Dame.
Really?
Yeah.
The
Cinderella story
ends. I like Navy, but not against Notre Dame. They're not playing people like that.
No.
All right. Oklahoma versus Ole Miss.
Ole Miss. They're not going to cover.
22.5 though. 22.5. Give me OU. For 20.
It dropped down. It dropped down to 19.
Okay, we'll still give me OU. I think they.
Yeah,
they find a way because I think that they can turn them over. You know, we know you don't really need a whole lot of help to do that. I don't know what they do scoring wise, but I think that just having even just a plan. Just have a plan this week. 14 points ought to keep you within that spread for sure. I'm not picking them to win.
Plus, Oxford's not a tough place to go and play.
It isn't?
No.
Okay, cool.
It's 11 a.m. kickoff too.
Yeah, there is that. They won't even be good and drunk yet, huh?
No.
All right, Michigan versus Michigan State. That heated rivalry.
Michigan State.
Yeah, no, I figured this was going to be quick. Michigan is just, I get it, Harbaugh, a lot of those kids.
They're down their starting quarterback too, if I'm not mistaken. They're starting that kid who started at the beginning of the year, the Davis Warren kid.
They can't throw it from,
here
across the room.
I'm taking Michigan State.
Yeah, me too. I like Jonathan Smith. I didn't expect them to do very well right off the bat, but they've played better than I thought they would. I like Jonathan Smith.
Yeah.
All right. Overreaction versus overreaction. I mean, overreaction versus not overreaction. In the show, we only got 2 tonight. Number 1, Vandy gets another huge upset versus Texas.
Not an overreaction. Not an overreaction. I think they get it done here. Hey, listen, I told you they're going to lose 2 more. This could be one. They are at home. I mean, it could be a get-right game for Texas too. But I mean, I don't think it's an overreaction to believe that they're going to be in this game. And this game at the end. So
they can compete, but bro, like I just find it very hard that they're going to knock off another top 10 team. It just seems if they do, then
is Texas really a top 10 team though? I mean, come on.
Yes, they are. Yes.
No, they're not. No, they're not.
But the brand has finally returned. Fuck your brand.
Shout out to Uni Kuno.
NCAA eliminating the national letter of intent to make signing day more exciting than ever instead of the opposite. Because a lot of people didn't really like that idea.
I don't think it's really going to impact it much. Probably an overreaction, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I don't know. I really hadn't paid that much attention to this. I don't know that it matters, right?
I was reading the article. It's not as simple as just not signing a letter.
I think you got to lock in somehow, somewhere, right? But the truth is, the letter of intent didn't mean shit anyway.
Yeah,
they could still get out of it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
They just hit the portal a month later.
Yeah.
All right, hey, there y'all have it, man. That was episode 5 of FBS Friday. All right, thank y'all so much for tuning in. All right, again, Blue, appreciate you. Jason, appreciate you. Please,
man, thanks for having me.
A lot of y'all came here with Jason, so y'all already know the Hall of Fame Sports Podcast. All right, but for those of you who don't, the Hall of Fame Sports Podcast is where you should subscribe to. Also, the Blue Bloods. All right, if you ain't come from here from Jason, I know you know who Blue is. Blue. All right, subscribe to the Blue Bloods Podcast. We'll catch y'all next week. All right, we out. Hopefully we can have everybody for that show. See y'all next time. We out.